Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. Spellbinders is celebrating their 20th birthday with a fun release called Birthday Celebrations. You can purchase the entire release as a bundle, or you can buy the products individually, and I will have links provided in the description box below. The first item is an embossing folder called Party Dots. What I love about this embossing folder is the large size. It's just under 6 by 9 inches. So with this large size, you're able to make slimline cards, 5 by 7 cards, or A2 size cards. It has you covered. The next item is a die set called Surprise Box, and this is one of my favorites from the release. There are 4 dies included in this set, and you can use them to create a fun little box. There's also a stamp set that works perfectly with the surprise box. It's called Birthday Unboxing Sentiments. I love the image and sentiments on the bottom of this set. They have them at an angle so that when you stamp them on your box, it makes it look more three-dimensional. Most of the sentiments on this set are for birthday or celebration, but you could use this for any occasion. The next die set is called Color Block Balloons. There are 3 different pattern balloons, and it also has the solid circle. Then we have some balloon strings, the little ties, and even the reflection of light for each of the balloons. There is a coordinating stamp set. It's another sentiment set with lots of birthday sentiments, and it's called It's Party Time. I love the 2 bold sentiments on the very top, and they do fit inside the larger balloons. With the balloon dies, you can use the 3 fun patterns, or you can use just that solid piece. And I'll be using both in my video today. The next die set is called Balloon Party Animal. So let me get all of these pieces out of the bag. There's the full piece, and you could use that by itself. There's also several individual pieces, so you could add some more dimension to your little balloon animal. I also have the Party Décor die set. This is the perfect set to create fun little garland or pennant designs for your card. It has the flag, 2 different sizes of circles, and the small triangles or pennants. The final product I received you can purchase as a bundle or individually. This is the Embellishment bundle. There's a bag of sequins. I have a beautiful iridescent finish on them. We have the birthday celebration printed die cut pieces, and I won't take them out of the bag, but there are lots and lots of great birthday sentiments and also some larger cut aparts. I think they're about 3 by 4 inches in size. We have the Cheerful Occasions 6 by 6 paper pad. There are 24 sheets, 2 of each design, and many of the designs do have that beautiful gold foil finish. I'll flip through the paper pad quickly so you can get an idea of what's included. It's a nice variety. There's some florals, beautiful rainbows, we have stripes, lots of tone-on-tone patterns. This one's hard to see, but there are some tiny little gold foil confetti pieces on there. Another gorgeous gold foil finish. The next item is a sheet of Puffy rainbow stickers, and they do have that beautiful gold foil finish. There's also a row of pretty hearts. There's some gold glitter foam block alphabet stickers. There's a nice variety of letters, and you also have the numbers. And then the final item in this bundle is the Birthday Celebrations sticker pack. There are 4 different sheets, and as you can see, many of the pieces do have that lovely gold foil finish. We have lots of numbers, which is perfect when you're making birthday cards. This sheet is all sentiments, little banners, and the final sheet has a few icons and lots of sentiments. So let's go ahead and get started with card number 1. I will be making 10 different cards using items from the new Birthday Celebrations release. For card number 1, I'm using a card sketch for inspiration. This is from Freshly Made Sketches. It's number 229. I selected a white and red polka dot paper for the background. I'll be layering this on some red cardstock. For that narrow strip on the left side of the card, I'm using the same red cardstock. And just for a little extra shine, I'm adding some Love from Lizi peel-offs along the edge of that narrow red strip. I'll put some ATG tape on the back and put my card front onto a card base. All of my cards in this video are American Standard A2 size, 4¼ inches by 5½ inches. I cut out the 3 small squares from some white shimmer cardstock, and I'm layering them on the same red cardstock. I did add an additional 1/8 inch for that cardstock layer. I'll lay them loosely on my card to get the placement correct, then adhere them in place using some liquid adhesive. And I like to use Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. This is the 2-ounce size bottle, but they also have a 4-ounce size. I prefer the 2-ounce size. I find it easier to hold. Then I also purchased the refill bottle so I can just fill it up when my 2-ounce size gets low. Inside each of those squares, I'll be adding one of the rainbow puffy stickers, and these have that beautiful gold foil finish. Now they are stickers, so they do have adhesive on the back, and they're actually very sticky, but I'm still adding a few drops of liquid adhesive just to make sure they stay in place, especially since I'm adding them to some shimmer cardstock. For the sentiment on my card, I'm using one of the die cut pieces. This is Birthday Hugs and Kisses. I'm adding some thin foam squares on the very right side and also a scrap piece of cardstock on the left side before adhering it in place. And this will help keep it at the same level. Then I'll adhere it between the bottom 2 rainbows. To finish up the card, I'll add some of the sequins that are included in the bundle. I'll put 2 of them in the upper right hand corner and 3 around the sentiment and that middle rainbow. I'm using an embellishment wand to pick those up, adding just a small drop of liquid adhesive and then pressing the sequins in place. I really like the designs of the sequins since they don't have that small hole in the center. They're solid instead. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 1. I love how this turned out. I think that red color with the gold looks so pretty together. Now moving on to card number 2. The card sketch is from MFT. This is number 579. I have this fun yellow pattern paper for the background, and I'll add a strip of the beautiful rainbow paper on the left side, putting some gold mirror Love from Lizi peel-offs along the edge of that rainbow pattern paper. This is the pinstripe style, and I'm using the narrowest width peel-off. I'll just flip over the panel to trim off the edge of the peel-off, then put ATG tape on the back and layer this piece on some gold mirror cardstock. And this cardstock is left over from one of Spellbinders' monthly kits. Put my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 inch of that white card base showing. I'll be adding the sentiment Celebrate, and this is one of the die cut pieces. But first I'll put a small narrow banner in the upper left hand corner. I selected some pink cardstock that matches the pink in the rainbows. I did put some thin foam dimension on the back of the Celebrate die cut piece. Just remove the release paper and adhere that in place. Instead of the 3 circles that are indicated on the card sketch, I used some of the gold star stickers. And I also wanted to tuck in a couple of the presents. I have the green and the pink, and I did trim the green one down slightly so I could tuck it behind the pink one. I think adding the 2 present stickers really finishes off the card. And since there's already lots of shine, I decided the card didn't need any extra bling. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 2. For card number 3, the card sketch is from Sugar Pea Designs. This is Sugar Sketch number 4. I selected this beautiful floral paper for that larger rectangle piece. For the very background of the card, I decided to go with some craft cardstock, and I'll be layering all of the pieces on some dark green cardstock. I did round the upper right hand corner of the floral paper and also that matted layer. And for the narrow strip on the left side of the card, I'm using some light yellow cardstock. Before adhering that piece in place, I will add some scrap cardstock pieces above and below that floral piece, and that'll just help keep everything at the same level. Now I'll put liquid adhesive on the back and adhere this in place. Then I can layer this panel on that same dark green cardstock. And I noticed I did have a little bit of that yellow strip going off the edge, so I simply flipped over the panel, used my scissors to trim it off. I'll put my card front onto a card base, leaving that 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. Next, I'll add one of the garland pieces in the upper left-hand corner using the new Party Decor die set. I cut out the string using some white shimmer cardstock, and then I have several of the little flags. I used the dark green and also a light pink that matches some of the floral in the pattern paper. I'm just gluing all of these down using liquid adhesive. And I'm rotating the colors, so I have pink, green, and so on. And I wasn't sure how many little flags I could get on there, so I do have a few extras. I'm leaving about an 1/8 of an inch between each of the flags. And I like that it ended up with an odd number. For the sentiment on the card, I'm using another die cut piece. This is Have a Beautiful Day. It has a gold foil stripe on the very left side, and it already has the fishtail cut on the right side. I do have foam dimension on the back, and I'll also be adding the sentiment hello above that Have a Beautiful Day. I'm using the lovely gold glitter foam letters. And these are extremely sticky, so I decided they didn't need any extra adhesive. So now I'll remove the release paper on the back of this foam dimension and adhere the rest of the sentiment. Then for a final finishing touch, I'll add some more of the sequins that are included in the bundle. I'll put 2 in the upper left-hand corner and 3 around the sentiment. I really like that Spellbinders included 3 different sizes of sequins in the mix. It's always nice to have that variety. And if you love the look of the sequins, Spellbinders recently released 5 other colors in that same opalescent finish. They're so pretty and sparkly. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 3. Now moving on to card number 4, and I won't be using a card sketch this time. I'm using one of the 3x4 pieces that's included in the die cut pack. It has the sentiment, "You are all kinds of wonderful," and it has a little bit of embellishment with the gold foil finish. I'm layering that on some black cardstock. Then I also added a light pink cardstock behind it and just offset them slightly. So you can just see a small peek of that light pink cardstock. For the background of the card, this is one of my favorite pattern papers. It's all gold foil finish cameras. So fun. I layered that on the same light pink cardstock and then again on some black cardstock. This is a very simple card design, but it has a ton of shine. For a little extra detail, I decided to add 3 small circles in the upper left-hand corner, and I used one of the Party Decor dies for those circles. It's perfect for embellishments, and this is the larger circle. There's also a small circle as well. You could even use those dies to make shaker toppings. For a final finishing touch, I added one of the gold heart stickers. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 4. Card number 5 is also a very simple card design. I'm using another 3x4 die cut piece. It has this beautiful rainbow in the background and a gold sentiment that says, "Every day shines brighter because you are in it." I layered that die cut piece on a similar pink cardstock. For the background, I have this beautiful rainbow pattern paper, and I'm adding some Love from Lizi peel-offs to the background. These are white peel-offs, but they have a gold foil finish along the edge. I used the widest width and the medium width and just put 3 of them in the middle of the card. Then I layered that rainbow paper on the same pink cardstock. I'll put some ATG tape on the back and add my card front onto a card base. Now I can add my sentiment, and I decided to put it at a slight angle. Put some ATG tape on the back and adhere it in place. Then for a final finishing touch, I'm adding a couple of the heart puffy stickers. I selected a pink and a white heart. I'll just put 2 of those in the upper right hand corner. Before adhering them in place, I did put a small drop of liquid adhesive. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 5. For card number 6, I'll be using the Surprise Box die set. I cut out all 4 pieces from some craft cardstock, and this is so easy to assemble. The 2 smaller pieces are the flaps on the front side of the box. The largest piece with the stitch lines is the back of the box, and the die cut piece that doesn't have any of the stitch detail is the front of the box. So that's where I stamped one of the images. It has the sentiment with love, with 2 little hands and a heart. Now I'll attach the 2 flaps for the front of the box, putting some liquid adhesive and adhering both of those in place. Now you could glue down those flaps if you don't want a lot of dimension on your box, but I decided I'll leave them loose. Now I can attach the front to the back side of the box. Again, I'll put some liquid adhesive, just holding all those pieces together. And just to make sure it stays in place while I wait for the glue to adhere, I'm also putting some double-sided tape on the back side. So there is the box all finished, and you could easily tuck some items inside. So now I'll start working on the card. I'm using this fun blue paper that has sort of confetti all over the background, layering it on some dark blue cardstock. I'll put my card front onto a card base, and I also have a large oval die cut, and I use some white shimmer cardstock for that. I'll adhere the oval using some liquid adhesive, and this oval is from Spellbinders Fluted Oval die set. Now inside of the box, I'll be adding a couple of balloons. I've already assembled the one with the little stripes, and next I'll be assembling the scallop design. So I cut out the very background from some white cardstock. That just gives me the base so I can adhere all of those scallop layers. Both of the balloons are pink and yellow. So I started off with the yellow scallop piece, just putting liquid adhesive on the back and layering all of those pieces together to finish off my fun balloon design. And I could use the extra scallop pieces for another balloon, but this card will only be featuring 2 balloons. I'll also add that fun highlight piece, put one of them on the left side and one on the right side. Add the little tie on the back side and also the balloon string. And I did cut this out from some black cardstock since I wanted it to be visible on the card. The strings are longer than I'll need on this card, so I'll just trim off the bottom. But I like that they went with that longer size, so it would be perfect if you're making a slimline size card. Now I'll attach my box. I removed the release paper on the double-sided tape and also added some liquid adhesive. For both of the balloons, I'll put some foam dimension on the back side, remove the release paper, then add a little bit of liquid adhesive to each of the balloon strings. Then I can tuck those right inside my box. On the larger balloon, I do need to trim a little more of that string off so I could tuck it inside my box. I also needed to remove just a little bit of the foam dimension on the area where the 2 balloons overlap each other. I love how it looks like the balloons are coming right out of that box for a fun birthday surprise. For the sentiment on the card, I'm using another die cut piece. This is Happy Birthday. I put some foam dimension on the back side and I'll adhere it in the lower right hand corner. Then to finish off the card, I'll pull out some more of the sequins, put 2 of them in the upper left hand corner and 1 to the right of the box. Using my embellishment wand to pick those up and adding just that small drop of liquid adhesive. I'll also pull out the sheet of puffy stickers and add 2 small hearts above the sentiment. I'm using this yellowish orange color and a light pink. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 6. The new surprise box die set is so much fun. For card design number 7, the card sketch is from Sugar Pea Designs. This is Sugar Sketch number 51. I used the Party Spots embossing folder on some light yellow cardstock, and I'll be using the deboss side. Layer this on some dark blue cardstock, then I could put my card front onto a card base. And I am leaving that 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. I selected 2 different pattern papers. I have this beautiful gold foil finish for that narrow strip, and then a fun blue tone-on-tone pattern for the larger piece. I did round the left 2 corners, layered both those pattern papers on the same dark blue cardstock. For a little bit of separation between the 2 designs, I'm using some more of the Love from Lizi peel-offs. This is the white design with that gold foil finish on the edge. I'm using a craft knife to trim off the very right side. Then I'll adhere this pattern paper piece onto my card. Next, I'll be adding several different die cut pieces. We have birthday wishes and a little ticket with the sentiment today and a small heart. I'm using one of the sentiment stickers, Let's Celebrate. I'll layer the 2 die cut pieces together, add the sticker on top. Then using some more of the blue cardstock, I'll cut a banner and add that in the upper left-hand corner. I love the design of this banner with the 2 sides angle in. I'll adhere that in place using some liquid adhesive. Then for a final finishing touch, I'm adding some more of the stickers. Went with 2 of the yellow stars. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 7. Card number 8 is the only card I made without using any pattern paper, just solid cardstock. I have this beautiful pink pearlescent cardstock for the background, and I used the Party Spots embossing folder. Then I'm adding a circle die cut, and I cut this out using the opposite side of that pearlescent cardstock, so the colors are just slightly different. And I used Spellbinders Fluted Circle dies for that fun design. For this card, I'll be adding the fun balloon party animal dies. I cut it out from yellow cardstock. I have a slightly darker yellow for those individual pieces, and I'm adding a little bit of yellow ink to the edges. This is the Catching Rays ink color by Catherine Pooler. I'll also add a little bit of the yellow ink color to the edge of the large balloon animal piece. Now I can start assembling my fun little balloon animal. I'll be using liquid adhesive to adhere those individual balloon pieces, but you could also use foam dimension. It just depends on how thick you want your card. That one final piece to adhere in place. Now I'll pull out my card and I'll be adding my cute little balloon animal in the center of that pink circle. I am putting some foam dimension on the back side. So I'll just adhere it in place. I've already stamped out the sentiment to my favorite party animal. I'll cut a fishtail on both sides. And I do have some foam dimension on the back side. I'll remove the release paper and adhere the sentiment underneath my image. The ink color I use for the sentiment is Pucker Up by Catherine Pooler. Then to finish off the card, I'll add some more of the sequins that are included in the bundle. I'll put 2 in the upper left-hand corner and 3 to the right of my little balloon animal. At first, I was very indecisive where to place those final 3 sequins. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 8. The sentiment stamp set, It's Party Time, has so many fun celebration sentiments. Now moving on to card number 9. I'm using a card sketch for inspiration. This is from MFT. It's number 537. I have this colorful pattern paper for the background with lots of triangles. Then for the narrow strip, I used some yellow pattern paper. I'm adding some gold mirror peel-offs along the edge of the yellow pattern paper for a little extra contrast. Then I'll be adding a large oval die cut, and I used some white shimmer cardstock for that. I do have it going off the edge on the right, so before adhering this panel onto that blue cardstock, I flipped it over and trimmed off the very edge of that oval die cut. Then I can layer this panel on some blue cardstock. I'll put some ATG tape on the back and adhere my card front onto a card base, leaving that 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. For images on the card, I'll be adding some of the balloon die cuts, and I've already assembled them. I do have foam dimension on the back side. I decided to go with just the solid balloon instead of the patterns this time. I did stamp a sentiment on the large pink balloon. This is "Let's Celebrate You." I love how some of those sentiments fit perfectly inside the balloons. So I'll adhere all of those balloons on the oval die cut. I haven't cut down the strings yet, so they are a little long right now on my card. But once I have all 3 balloons in place, I'll trim the very ends of the strings off. Add a little bit of liquid adhesive on the back side so those strings stay in place. Then I'll flip over my card and trim off the very extra pieces of the strings. For the sentiment, I've already stamped this out. This is one of the sentiments included on the same stamp set. I'll cut a fishtail on the left side, and I will pop it up using some foam dimension. I'll also add a couple of scrap cardstock pieces just where it goes off of that oval die cut. Need just the tiniest little piece in the lower right hand corner. So now I'll put some foam dimension strips on the back side. Remove the release paper and adhere it underneath the 3 balloons. Then for a final finishing touch, I'll add a few of the sticker embellishments. I'll put 2 in the upper left hand corner and 1 next to the balloons on the right side. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 9. This is one of my favorites. I love the fun colors. For card number 10, I'm using a card sketch from OWH. This is number 153. I have this beautiful floral paper for the background. For those 2 narrow strips, I'm using a very light pink cardstock. I'll just adhere those in place. I'll layer this piece on some dark green cardstock, add my card front onto a card base. Then for the large square, I have the smaller piece cut out of some white shimmer cardstock. The larger piece, I use that same dark green cardstock. Just adhere those 2 pieces together. I'll glue down that large square on the left side of the card, and this is where I'll be adding another fun little box. So I've already assembled this box and added some sentiments. I have "This side is up," "Handle with care," and the sentiment "Hello." I'm putting an acrylic block on top just for that added weight while I let the glue adhere. Now inside of my box, I decided to add these circle heart stickers. Since they are stickers, they don't have a lot of thickness to them, so I am adhering them onto some white circle die cuts. Then I'll tuck all 3 of the hearts inside the box. Just using liquid adhesive to adhere those in place. I selected the 3 colors that match best with the pattern paper. I have the yellow in the very back, the light green is tucked inside the box, and then also a light pink. Then for a final finishing touch, I'll use some more of the sequins. I'll add 3 in the upper right hand corner and 2 in the lower left hand corner. And this card would work year round since I didn't use any birthday or celebration sentiments. Now here's another look at the 10 cards I made using Spellbinders' brand new Birthday Celebrations release. Spellbinders is celebrating their 20th birthday. 20 years is a big deal. I think some of my very first dies were by Spellbinders, and I might still have a few of those sets. If you are interested in any of the products I use in this video, I do have links provided in the description box below. You can purchase the entire bundle. There's also the embellishment bundle, or you can buy the products individually. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.